Team Toxic by Kyron Butler. Story 1. Identity. Summer has ended and Kai and Olivia are about to start their second year of high school. It's 6 in the morning and Olivia's late for the bus. She opens the door and sees the bus waiting for her. She walks gracefully and slowly to the bus as the kids are yelling at her to hurry up. The bus driver honks the horn, hoping she would speed up, but she does not. "Kai, what the fuck is your friend doing?" a kid in front of Kai's seat asks. "The bus isn't going anywhere, so there's no reason for her to rush," Kai says. The kid looks at Kai with confusion and says, "But doesn't she know she's making us late too?" Kai looks at him with a blank expression and says, "Ask her when she gets on the bus." Olivia finally makes it to the bus with the bus driver looking at her with aggravation on his face. Olivia walks to the back of the bus where Kai is sitting. She sees him sitting by himself with his backpack next to him, taking up a spot. She walks up to Kai and looks at him. Kai looks at her and they just look at each other for a couple of seconds. "Are we really about to do this?" Olivia asks Kai. "Do what?" Kai says. Olivia points to the backpack and Kai laughs and says, "I don't speak sign language. Use your voice, Liv." She looks at him for a few seconds before aggressively yanking his backpack up and sitting it in his lap. Kai giggles as Olivia sits down. "You know you passed up like 5 seats, right? You just wanted to sit by me, huh, bestie?" Olivia chuckles and says, "No, I have to fart and the windows are open back here." Kai starts to cover his nose with his shirt. "Damn, I started to feel special," he says. Olivia smiles and sarcastically says, "Of course you're special, bestie. You get the opportunity to smell my gas. Do you know how lucky you are? You should be grateful." Kai laughs and the bus finally pulls off. The kid in front of Kai's seat looks back and begins to stare at Olivia. Olivia looks at him and squints her eyes. Kai notices their stare-off and laughs. "You know it's cute when you squint your eyes like that, right?" he says, taking his shirt off his nose. "Shut the fuck up, Kai," she says. Olivia and the boy continue to stare at each other before the boy finally points to his watch. Olivia sarcastically says, "I don't speak sign language." The kid says, "You know you made us late for the first day, right?" Olivia looks at Kai, then looks back at the kid and says, "Oof." The kid looks at her with confusion and says, "So you don't care, or what?" Olivia just stares at him with a blank expression. The kid looks at her and says, "You're just an inconsiderate bitch, you know that?" Olivia sarcastically says, "Thanks, I've always wanted to be that growing up." The kid gets angry at Olivia for being sarcastic and begins to curse at her more. "Fuck you, you lazy bitch. You could have ran or something. Now I'm gonna be late for my first day." Everyone on the bus begins to look toward the back of the bus, watching the argument. Kai steps in for his friend and says, "Lower your tone when you're speaking to my friend." The kid stands up and says, "What are you gonna do about it?" Olivia rolls her eyes and says, "Oh my gosh, can we not do this? This is really childish." The kid and Kai stare at each other for a few seconds and the kid says, "Well, what's up?" Just then, the bus driver begins to demand the kids to sit down. The kid refuses, waiting for Kai to take action so that the bus driver stops the bus. Kai looks at the kid, then looks at Olivia. "Wasn't this nigga complaining about being late? The bus isn't moving because of him. The same nigga that wants to get to school so bad. Now he's standing up with his fists balled up, puffing and puffing. Shit, I thought he wanted to get to school," Kai says to Olivia. Olivia grins, trying not to laugh at Kai's logical statement. Kai looks at the kid and says, "Bruh, can you sit down so we can get to school? I don't want to miss breakfast." Olivia looks with excitement and says, "Oh yeah, I forgot they have those new vegan smoothies. They had them on the last day and they were so delicious." Kai looks at Olivia and laughs at her and she begins to laugh at Kai for laughing. Kai looks back at the kid and says, "Yo, I thought you wanted to go to school. Why are you still holding us up?" The kid gets more frustrated with Kai's comments and walks closer to his seat. Olivia kindly asks the kid to move. "Excuse me, but your junk is in my face. Can you please back up?" The kid replies, "Suck it, bitch." Kai gets angered by the kid's lewd comment and reaches over Olivia, punching the kid in the balls. The kid falls to the floor, screaming in pain. The bus driver yells, "Hey!" and gets up from his seat and marches toward the back. Kai looks at Olivia and says, "Ah, shit." Later that morning, Kai finds himself in the principal's office due to the incident on the bus. "I don't care why you did what you did. You still shouldn't have hit him. You're a sophomore now, so you should start acting like it. Getting into a fight on the first day back is very immature. I'll allow you to go back to your classes today, but after school, report to detention," Principal Mark says to Kai. Kai nods his head and walks out of the office toward the cafeteria to get his class schedule. As he waits in line, he hears a cute, innocent laugh behind him. He smiles and sighs, turning around to see Olivia standing behind him. No jokes, Liv," he says, smirking. "Wow, Kai. I don't know if that was a heroic act or an act of stupidity, but either way it goes, I got a great laugh out of it," Olivia says. Kai lets out a fake, sarcastic laugh, and Olivia playfully punches his shoulder, saying, "Cheer up." Kai playfully punches her back and says, "I'm assuming you grabbed my schedule for me." Olivia smiles and says, "What's the magic word?" "Please," Kai says. Olivia laughs and hands him his schedule, and they see if they have the same first period together. Olivia snatches Kai's paper playfully, stating that he is taking too long. After she takes a quick glance, she smiles, letting him know that they have both the same first period. They smile and walk toward their first period class, which is geometry. "Fuck, I hate math," Kai mutters under his breath as he and Olivia walk into class. "Please check your name at the table and have a seat somewhere. I'm Mrs. Dodd, and I'm happy to have you." Olivia checks both of their names while Kai looks for seats. As he walks toward the back, he sees a girl in a black hoodie with her head down. He pauses for a second. "Is that you?" he says loudly. The girl looks up, and Kai smiles. It's his friend from middle school, Esmeralda. "Yeah, dumbass. I told you I was transferring to this school," she says as she gets up to give him a hug. Kai smiles and gives her a hug. "I thought you were just fucking with me about transferring, though," he says, gripping her tight. "You thought wrong," she replies. Olivia walks up smiling. "Ew, get a room," she says to Kai and Esmeralda in a joking manner. "You remember Esmeralda, right?" Kai says, and Olivia says, "Oh yeah, we had karate class together, didn't we?" Esmeralda laughs and says, "Yeah, but we never did anything. We just sat in the back and hid." Before they could finish their reunion, Kai suggests that they hurry and sit down so no one takes their seats. The three of them go to the back and sit at the group table toward the back corner of the wall. "Who will be fourth?" Olivia asks. Kai quickly sits his leg in the empty chair, saying, "My footprint." Olivia and Esmeralda laugh at Kai's corny but clever joke. Suddenly, Kai hears a familiar voice coming from a group of kids walking in the class. He takes his foot out of the chair and looks toward the door in shock, saying, "Bro, what the fuck? You have to be kidding me. No fucking way." Olivia and Esmeralda look toward the door. Olivia looks back at Kai with a concerned look on her face. "Hey Kai, isn't that your ex?" Esmeralda asks. Kai looks up to see Mariah, his former girlfriend. Kai then looks back at Esmeralda and says, "Unfortunately." Mariah walks into class and spots Kai sitting in the back by Olivia and Esmeralda. She walks toward the back with Esmeralda laughing, saying, "Oh shit, oh shit." Kai's unamused, and Olivia notices. "Kai, calm down, it'll be fine," Olivia says. Mariah makes it to where Kai and his friends are sitting and sits near them. Esmeralda turns red, trying to hold in her laughter. Olivia was calm at first, but when she glanced over at Esmeralda, she too began to chuckle a little. "Hey Kai, how was your summer?" Mariah reluctantly asks. "I think you know the answer to that," Esmeralda says, chuckling. Mariah doesn't say anything. Olivia looks at Kai, and Kai looks at Olivia. Kai lets out a heavy sigh and says, "My summer was pretty ass, but thank you for asking." Mariah says, "Oh." Kai gets angered and flips over the table. "Bitch, that's all you ever fucking say to shit," he says as he gets up to leave the classroom. Before Mr. Jeff could ask what happened, Kai says, "I'm going to the office." The kids in the class begin to laugh at Kai's little outburst, which causes Olivia to feel uneasy. "They don't know him or what he's going through," she says to Esmeralda. Esmeralda then pulls out her phone and texts Kai, telling him to wait in the restroom until the class is over. Mariah sits there with a blank expression on her face. So after an hour, the class finally ends, and Olivia and Esmeralda make their way to the restroom where they see Kai is waiting. Kai walks up to them, and before he could say anything, Olivia says, "That was extra. Get a grip of yourself, Kai. You're too old to do things like that." Kai nods his head, agreeing with Olivia, and they begin to walk to PE. As they make it to gym, Olivia and Esmeralda walk in, but Kai does not. "What the fuck are you doing?" Esmeralda asks. Kai tells them, "I don't have PE this period. I was just walking with you both, but I'll see you at lunch." Olivia laughs and says, "Damn, now I won't get to see you in your bright yellow shorts." Kai laughs and walks away, going to his next class. Olivia and Esmeralda walk into the locker room and begin to change clothes. Esmeralda asks Olivia, "What happened between Kai and Mariah? What's all that hostility from? I know they broke up, but I don't know all the details." Olivia sighs because she's reluctant to talk about it. She looks at Esmeralda and tells her, "You're gonna have to ask him about it." Esmeralda's tone changes. It gets more serious, duller. "Is it that bad?" she asks with a sad expression on her face. Olivia says, "To him it is." After Olivia and Esmeralda get changed, they walk into the gym towards the teacher for instructions on what they're about to do. The PE teacher tells them, "We're not really going to be doing anything since it's the first day. All I want you to do today is to get acquainted with your classmates." They nod their heads and walk toward the middle of the gym where all the kids are. Olivia analyzes and observes her classmates and goes back into the locker room, and Esmeralda follows. "Why are we in here?" Esmeralda asks. "Because all those kids are very immature," Olivia says. Esmeralda laughs and says, "Well, I guess it's just us, huh?" Olivia says, "I guess so." So the two of them sit in the locker room and discuss how their summers went until the class ends. Later that afternoon, Olivia and Esmeralda head to lunch to grab a table. "Are you going to eat anything?" Olivia asks. "No, I'm not a school food person," Esmeralda replies. Olivia's phone then buzzes, and when she looks at it, it's a message from Kai. Olivia sighs and tells Esmeralda that Kai isn't feeling well. "You know that's a lie, right, Olivia?" she says. "Yes, but if he doesn't want to talk about it, then I won't force him," Olivia says nonchalantly. Esmeralda gets frustrated and pulls out her phone. "What are you about to do?" Olivia asks. "I'm going to see what's his fucking problem, and where he is," Esmeralda tells her as she begins to type. Olivia puts her earphones in. Esmeralda looks at her like she's crazy. "Are you not going to check on him?" she asks. "He'll talk to me when he's ready to talk, Esmeralda," Olivia says. Esmeralda's phone buzzes and she shrugs her shoulders, saying, "Well, I'm going to make him talk," as she walks off. Esmeralda walks toward the boys' restroom, opening the door. She walks in toward the only stall with a closed door and begins to bang on it. "Kai, what the fuck?" Esmeralda says. Kai unlocks the door and she pulls him out of the stall. "Did you even go to your other classes?" she asks. Kai shakes his head, saying no. "Are you going to go to your other classes?" she demands to know. Kai says, "Nope, I'm stressed and I don't really want to be bothered," and he attempts to walk off. Esmeralda grabs his jacket and pulls him back. Don't do that shit to me. Not to me. Don't ever fucking turn your back on me. I mean it." Kai gets closer to Esmeralda and looks in her eyes. "Or what?" he says. She pulls him closer and slaps him as hard as she can. She pushes him to the wall and slaps him again. "Have you lost your fucking mind?" she yells. Just then, a group of boys walk into the restroom and she looks at them and yells, "Get the fuck out!" The boys look in shock and walk out of the restroom. She looks at Kai and Kai looks at her. "Why won't you talk to me?" she asks with sadness in her eyes. She lets go of his jacket and backs away from him. Kai doesn't let her turn around though. He quickly walks up to her and hugs her. "Because I don't know how to explain what's wrong with me." She puts her arms around him, hugging him back. She's crying. "Don't ever try to walk away from me or I'll bite your fucking balls off," she says. Kai says, "I'd probably like that shit." And they both begin to laugh. Just then, the principal walks into the restroom and sees Esmeralda. They look up and before she could say anything, he yells, "Detention!" After the principal gets done scolding Esmeralda, she and Kai walk out of the restroom. Olivia looks at Esmeralda and mimics the principal, yelling, "Detention!" Esmeralda is unamused, but Kai is laughing his ass off. "That's low-key some shit I'd do," he says. "Don't make me slap you again," she says. Kai stops laughing, and then Olivia laughs. "Oh, so she beat you into submission," she says. "Oh my fucking gosh, here we go again with this shit," he says with irritation in his voice. "Wait, how'd you know he was here?" Esmeralda asks. "He always sits in the restroom," Olivia says. Olivia continues saying, "You came to make him talk to you. I, on the other hand, came to make him go to class." Just then, the bell rings, which means it's time to go to their next class. The three of them look at their schedule to see if they have any more classes together, and they do not. So they all go to their separate ways, but before departing, Esmeralda tells Kai that she'll take him home from detention. So the three of them went the rest of the day without each other, and it was draining, not having anyone to talk to or understand them. No one else who has the same maturity level as them. For the rest of the day, it was an obstacle getting through each and every second that passed by. But finally, the bell rang. Kai reports to detention and he writes his name down. Esmeralda walks in behind him laughing. "We're in this together, buddy," she says as she writes her name down as well. They both have a seat and wait instructions from the teacher who isn't there. Just then, a substitute teacher walks in and says, "I'm sorry, but Mr. Dusk couldn't make it today, so I'll be filling in. I'm not sure what his rules are, but my rules are very simple. Just sit here until it's over. It's the first day, so I'm going to let it slide and give you a little freedom. But only for today. Now excuse me, I'm going upstairs to print something." Kai and Esmeralda nod their heads saying, "Yes, ma'am," and the substitute heads out. Kai and Esmeralda smile and begin to talk and play games on their phones. Moments later, Olivia walks inside the detention room. "Olivia?" Esmeralda says in shock. "Why did they send you here?" Kai asks. Olivia sighs. "I was in the restroom and missed my bus, so I just came here with you two." Kai smiles and grabs a chair for her to sit down. They talk for a bit before another student walks in. Kai looks up and says, "The fuck?" Esmeralda looks up to see who it is as well. Olivia whispers at Kai, playfully saying, "It's the one that got away." "Fuck you, that's not funny," he responds. Olivia lets a cute, innocent laugh and says, "It's okay, Kai. Go, say hi." Kai frowns and says, "You're making this weird." Esmeralda chimes in asking who she is. The girl walks in and signs her name. Once she's finished, she turns around and makes eye contact with Kai. Kai says, "Hi, Cheyenne." You can hear the uneasiness in his voice. "Hey," Cheyenne says back. Olivia gets up and grabs a chair, pulling it toward the table so Cheyenne can sit down. Cheyenne walks up and sits at the table, and there is an awkward silence. Esmeralda then asks, "Hey, wait, we all went to middle school together, right?" Olivia nods her head agreeing. "So, how was your summer, Kai?" Cheyenne asks. "It was good," he tells her. "Why the fuck is this so awkward?" Esmeralda asks. Kai and Cheyenne look at each other and just stare. He looks away and says, "I'm sorry for what happened." Cheyenne tells him, "It's okay. I know you wanted space after Mariah. You didn't want to hurt me, at least not intentionally. I'm glad you had Olivia to talk to." "Yeah, he went through it with Mariah," Olivia says. Kai begins to get frustrated, and Olivia notices. "Kai, let it out so you can let it go. Speak your mind. How do you feel?" "Damn it, I wish she was dead," Kai says. Cheyenne looks at him with disgust in her eyes. "That's not right, Kai. That's not something you should wish on someone," she tells him. Cheyenne turns towards Olivia, wondering if she's going to share her opinion. Cheyenne and Olivia stare at each other for 6 or 7 seconds before Olivia finally asks, "Oh, did you want me to say something?" Cheyenne gets frustrated. "He's your best friend, isn't he?" she says with sarcasm. "Hey, this argument is unfucking necessary," Kai says sternly. Olivia chuckles and says, "Aw, he's getting moody." "Moodier than usual," Esmeralda says as she takes her earphones out. "Olivia, you should be helping him. not letting him rant and rave about hurting someone, Cheyenne says. Esmeralda puts her earphones in so she doesn't have to hear them argue. What did she do to you, really? Cheyenne asks. Olivia then taps Esmeralda, telling her to listen. Growing up, I was never taught to love myself, just to treat others how I wanted to be treated. I gave people my all, just for them to use me and throw me away. I was closed off for the longest time, not giving a fuck about other people, not even caring about myself. I keep to myself because no one understands me, no one attempts to. I crave something that I know I'll never have and I can't even put it into words. But she made me think otherwise. She made me feel things I've fought not to feel. I gave her all of me, parts of me I didn't know I had, parts I fought against, tried to hide. I manifested things emotionally and mentally just to give to her, all for her to walk away and abandon me. Now it's a struggle getting used to this lonely feeling again. A feeling I thought would never fucking go away. And for a moment, everything was still when I was with her. Everything was calm, peaceful. For the first time in forever, I knew what real affection felt like. And it changed me. And now she's gone. Now it's a struggle, a pain going back into a place that I never thought I would escape from. A place I never really wanted to leave. And this realization causes me so much pain, Cheyenne, so much emotional and mental agony. Cheyenne and Esmeralda are speechless. They don't know what to say. I want a hug, Kai says randomly. You're like a little baby bird, Olivia says as she gets up to hug him. You fucked up the moment, he says. No, I took over the moment, she responds. Kai looks over at Esmeralda and sees that she's upset. What's wrong? Olivia asks her. She looks over at Kai with hurt in her eyes. She says, I know that lonely feeling you speak of. It's draining, isn't it? It weighs you down, almost like guilt, like holding in a lie, like a void in you that eats you up inside, one that never closes. I had 2 sisters. They died because of me 4 years ago. I was playing with my stepfather's gun, and one thing led to another. I've never been whole since then. Everyone turned their back on me, called me a monster. We had cameras in the house so they could see it was an accident, but my older sisters treated me like crap, and my parents let them. They would beat me or not talk to me because I wasn't their mother's child. So when the psychiatrist asked me if I missed them, I told them no. It broke my stepfather's heart. Sometimes I feel this darkness in me for not missing them. Sometimes I wonder if it even was an accident. Kai grabs her hand and holds it. We all have darkness inside of us. No one is excused from it. No one is pure, he says. With pain comes knowledge, Olivia says, and with knowledge comes understanding, Kai says, finishing Olivia's statement. I like the friendship you all have. It's a lot of mutualism, a lot of understanding. It's comforting being around you all. I felt alone too, never thought it would be somewhat washed away. Yet being around you all makes me feel, I don't know, not alone, I guess. Unjudged, Cheyenne says. We are who we are. No one should have to hide behind a mask, although some do. People need to embrace themselves, embrace their darkness or sorrows or loneliness to some degree. People just need to stop wearing their masks and show themselves. Masks hide your identity, but people need to stop hiding and embrace their identity and embrace who they are, Olivia says. Olivia looks at everyone and everybody's looking at her. They all see and feel what she is saying is right and are left speechless. Damn, it got deep up in detention, Olivia says as she lets out an adorable and innocent laugh. Everyone begins to laugh and smile. Text your parents and let them know I'll take you all home, Esmeralda says. Olivia and Cheyenne text their parents letting them know they have a ride. Bro, we need a squad name, Kai says. Scooby-Doo, Olivia says. How? And we don't even have a fucking dog, Kai responds. Duh, Kai, it was a joke. Get with the program, Olivia says. Cheyenne says, how about the toxic teens? Esmeralda says, how about Team Toxic, bitch? Yeah, that go hard, Kai responds, and Olivia and Cheyenne agree. 2 hours have passed and detention is over, and as they are walking out the class, they hear loud thunder and rain. It's a vicious storm going on, Kai says. Yeah, traffic's gonna be a bitch. They make it to the exit, and Esmeralda hands Kai the keys. The fuck you want me to do with this? He asks. Do you know how to drive? She asks. I can make my way around a bit, why? She says, good. Now, go be a gentleman and pull the car over here. Don't let us ladies get wet. She points to her car, and Kai sighs before sprinting to her car. He gets in, starts it, and drives towards his friends. After they all get in and situated, Esmeralda drives off. Do you all want something to eat? She asks. Yes, Kai says. Olivia laughs, and Cheyenne giggles, saying, no, I'm good, but thank you. The storm is heavy, yet soothing and peaceful. It's almost like driving in a high. Everyone in the car is mesmerized by the thunder, the clouds, the rain, and the wind. All of it is somehow calming to them. Just then, as Esmeralda pulled up toward a stop sign, a powerful bolt of lightning strikes right in front of her, crumbling the ground beneath them, causing the car to flip and fall in a cave. The car is upside down and completely destroyed, but they all manage to crawl out. Blood dripping from Olivia's head. They all huddle up together to make sure everyone is okay. Kai sees the blood dripping from Olivia's head and aids her. Sit down, he says. He takes his jacket off and begins to wipe the blood off her forehead. That's so sweet. It's your favorite jacket too, she says, groaning in pain. Leave the joking to me, he says. Are you all right? Esmeralda asks. Cheyenne goes and sits down next to Olivia. Scratched and bruised, she says. My body hurts, Cheyenne says. Everyone else says, me too. Oh, just like the movement, Kai says. Olivia laughs and says, Kai, that's not funny. Esmeralda tosses a rock at him, saying it's not, dumbass. Sorry, just trying to lighten the mood, he says. After a couple of minutes, Kai finishes wiping and tending to Olivia's wounds. Essie, are you good? Kai asks. Esmeralda responds, saying, No, my car is fucked. Kai laughs. Insurance? He says. Esmeralda looks at Kai and is unamused, so she does not reply. Damn, wish you tended to my wounds like that, Cheyenne says with sarcasm. Kai ties his jacket around his waist and picks up Cheyenne. Oh, my white and shining armor, she says sarcastically. Hush, you like this shit, he says. It took you long enough, she responds. All of a sudden, there was a loud, thunderous noise coming from inside the cave. What the fuck was that? Olivia asks. They all shrug their shoulders in confusion. A flaming Chinese-like symbol then appears on a wall, causing the wall to split open. Inside is a book floating with a dark red, purple, green, and blue aura around it. They all freeze in shock. The 4 of them are drawn to the book. The book then opens and flaming symbols fly out, floating around the cave. They all walk inside, going towards the book. It's so captivating they can't resist the urge to read it. They all surround the book and look at each other. Esmeralda reaches toward the book, and when she does, the aura around the book explodes, hitting the 4 of them. They all begin to bleed black blood from their eyes and ears and begin to hear whispers. There's darkness floating around them, entering them. Kai begins to call out for Olivia, his best friend. He's lost and afraid. He's in pain. The whispers grow louder and louder, and they all begin to scream. They all begin to throw up black blood and pass out. Then suddenly the whispers stop, and a dark demonic voice says, the transition is finished. They lay there in the cave, unconscious for hours before finally waking. There was a light shining from the hole they fell through. Cheyenne gets up and looks around at everyone. They're all in shock and don't know what just happened. Kai has a horrible headache and begins to scream. Olivia runs to aid him, trying to figure out what's going on, Blood begins to pour out his nose and he screams louder. His eyes turn into a dark purple color. Olivia just holds him while he fights his tears. Esmeralda and Cheyenne walk up, and as they get closer, Esmeralda's eyes turn black, and a black ball of smoke surrounds them, and they disappear. Esmeralda's eyes go back to her normal color, and the smoke vanishes. "Where the hell are we?" Cheyenne asks. Olivia looks around and she gasps in shock. "This is the detention room," Esmeralda says. Just then, her eyes turn black again, and a black ball of smoke appears in her hand. The smoke disappears, but the book from the cave is now in the palm of her hand. She looks up at Cheyenne and Olivia, who are just as shocked as her. Kai lets go of Olivia and turns around to look at the rest of them. "What the hell happened to us?" he says before passing out. 2 years later, Kai and Olivia are sitting down with a dead body in front of them. "I didn't mean to hurt her," Kai says. "But you did, Kai. Now what do we do?" Olivia asks as she wipes the blood off his face with her finger. "There is no we in this one, Liv. It's okay. I can handle the society if they come. I'll have enough magic," tells her. Olivia licks the blood off her finger and places it back on Kai's face, wiping more blood off and licking it. She lets out an adorable, innocent laugh and tells him, "You're a fool for wasting your breath. You know I won't leave you. So let's deal with this, okay?" She wipes more blood off his face and playfully puts her finger in Kai's mouth, letting him lick the blood off her finger. "Come on, we have work to do," Olivia says. They both stand up and hold hands, and a black and red electrical aura surrounds them both.